Hello and welcome to the presentation of the Cyberpunk art project Revolting Puppets. My name is Tetsuo and I am the lead singer, comic artist and graphic designer of Revolting Puppets. Now, what is Revolting Puppets? Revolting Puppets started as a band and turned into an art project over the years, containing music, videos, comics, and many other art styles. So how did this all start? In 2014, the band Revolting Puppets was founded. And we played a mixture between rock, punk, and electro. And we wanted to have an outfit on stage and mask ourselves and stay anonymous. So we were looking for an outfit and we thought, okay, basically on the sound that we play, what could fit? And we thought, well, maybe cyberpunk style could be something. And I was doing some research online and looking for cyberpunk images of outfits, and I found this image here, and I really liked it because it looked like something we could wear on stage, because of course we should be able to still play our instruments, or I should be able to sing with it. So I would like to have my mouth to be free and not covered by something. So based on that inspiration I found online, I started to do some sketches. And these are some of the first sketches I did for our outfits. And I just did them without even having any idea whether they would work or not. And I really liked that idea of having a mohawk. You know, it was probably a love for punk music that made me think, oh, it would be nice to have some kind of mohawk. Because as you can see in the picture in the middle, it looked, I didn't really like it to be like this. It looked too much like a robot. And I didn't want us to be like robots or anything. I wanted us to be cyberpunks. So I didn't really knew how to do it. To do a mohawk, should it be feathers? Should it be like hair? So I thought maybe I could use like plexiglass, like plastic glass, and put some LEDs underneath it or inside it so it would glow. And that's where I came up with this idea. And first I just had like the mohawk and the goggles, and then put a towel around it. But I was afraid that the mohawk would not really be stable enough just by being on top of a towel. So I thought that we must have some kind of helmet to put the mohawk on top of it. And that's where I came up with the idea you can see on the right here. So I liked it so much that I did a colored version of it. And this is basically the final version for the final idea I had. And I showed this to our keyboarder at that time, Dr. Braindad, and asked him, look, this is my idea. Could you do a prototype? Because he had experience in electronics and building stuff like this. And he said, yeah, sure, I can try. So I gave him the sketch, and a couple of weeks later he turned up and said, look, I have a prototype. And he came to me with this. And I said, wow, this is really cool. This might work. So what he did is like, he basically had like an aluminum frame where he screwed the mohawk on top of it, and then we just added some electronic scraps on top of it with hot glue. And this kind of seemed to work. What we did back then is he had the idea to put the LEDs into the mohawk. So we drilled little holes and put single LEDs in that, and then we like connected them together with wires and everything. Which in retrospective was kind of a stupid idea because it was way too complicated and way too risky for malfunctions. So we're not using that method today. We just use a stripe and put it underneath it. But anyway, we did it back in the days then. And for the goggles, our first idea was just to take some random Cyberpunk goggles we could find on the internet, and we ordered a pair of those, but they were way too big, as you can see. And especially, they were way too uncomfortable because it was just hard plastic, and after 10 minutes it would start to hurt. And there was no way we could wear them for an hour on stage. So we had to find a different method. We kept, though, the EL wires that we used to make them glow, which were just basically white wires, and you can put them around, and then you just hook them up to a battery, and then they start to glow. So we had to find another way to make comfortable goggles. So our guitar player, Suloid, back then, he found a tutorial by a guy called Lost Wax for some rubber foam goggles. And even though they were a bit complicated to make because you had to like cut them out with a laser cutter and everything, but we used to know somebody who had a laser cutter, so it could work. We succeeded to create them based on his instructions, and they really worked. They were comfortable to wear. We could put the L wires on top of it, and we just had to use some sunglasses that we could buy at our local store. So that was really great. I really recommend you check out Lost Wax's YouTube account or go to his website, because he has really a lot of great stuff, a lot of great instructions for building stuff. So make sure to check it out if you're interested in these kind of things. Anyway, so we created the goggles, we put the wire around it, and we had our final outfit. So we had an outfit, we had music, now we needed a name. And finding a good band name is really one of the hardest things to do. Especially today, if with the internet and everything, almost every name is taken. I mean, try to find a good nickname on a website that isn't taken already. It's the same thing. So it needed to be simple, it needed to be catchy, and free, of course. And we did a long search. We had so many great ideas, but all of them were taken, or the website was already there, or... well, tough luck. So in the end, we came up with Revolting Puppets, because we asked ourselves, well, what is it that we don't want? We don't want people to be puppets. We want them to think for themselves. So when the puppets start to revolt, that's when they stop being puppets and start to think for themselves. So, Revolting Puppets. What we didn't know, because we were stupid and we were not English speakers, native English speakers, that revolting in front of the word puppets doesn't mean like to revolt, but it means like super disgusting. But we didn't know that at that time. So we played some concerts and we already created a logo and everything, and then somebody came up to us and said, well, look, I don't really think that your name means what you think it means. And he explained it to us, and we're like, shit, really? So we asked some of our friends who were native English speakers and asked them, look, is that true? And they said, yeah. And we're like, why didn't you tell us? And they were like, I thought you meant it that way. We thought it was cool. And I was like, okay, thanks. Well, so we realized, okay, it's kind of stupid, but people still like the name, so we kept it. So from then on, we were called Revolting Puppets. This is actually the first logo that you can see here that I created. It worked well for a while, but after a while we didn't really like it. So we changed it, and we had to find a new logo. I did some sketches again. I tried to kind of mix the old and the new together. And I really liked the idea of having not just letters, but having a person on the logo. I did some experiments, and I like this. I still like this thing with the electric scrap around it. But it was still a long way to go, and I won't show you all of the detours we took and all of the sketches, just the final one. So this is one of the final sketches I did for the figure, and then I matched the two together, and this is how we got our final logo that we're still using today. So we had a logo, we had a name, we had an outfit. Now all we needed is to play gigs. And we found some small venues that would let us play, and we played our first concerts on stage with our outfits and everything. And it kind of seemed to work. I mean, of course, it wasn't super comfortable. We still had the old helmets back then that had the aluminum frame. We don't use them anymore because they're pretty uncomfortable. But basically, it worked. You could wear them for an hour or two, and it wasn't too unbearable. Another problem we had was like the goggles would get foggy all the time because it was so hot in these venues. And then we started to make like holes in the sides of it, and it got a little bit better. We still have this problem once in a while today. So there's still room for improvement on our outfits. But anyway, I mean, it looked nice. People liked it. We liked it. And some venues even had great lighting with lasers and stuff that really went well together with our outfits. So, yeah, that was basically the band we had together. So how did that band now turn into an art project? We were looking for a video clip idea for a song that we had, which was called Dear MTV. And I was, or still am, a big fan of the book Fahrenheit 451. Most of you probably know it. For those who don't know it, it's a sci-fi book about a dystopian future where firefighters don't fight fire anymore. Their job is to burn books. And out of their hoses, there's not water coming on, but fire. So it's a really good book. You should definitely read it if you haven't already. So I proposed that we would base the video clip roughly on this book. And the rest of the band really liked it. And so we came together for a big brainstorming. And for that, we also invited some filmmakers we knew. And just some friends, because we thought, well, the more ideas, the better, you know. So that went really well. We had 4 meetings. And in the end, we had an idea that we thought was almost too big for just a video clip. It was not just a story, it was almost like a universe that we had created together. So we thought, wait, maybe we could turn this band into something else. Maybe we could turn this band into something new that is more than just a band. And so we came up with this new concept to become characters in a fictional universe. And that basically was the beginning of Revolting Puppets as an art project. So, in order to become that, of course, we had to create a universe. And we already had most of it together from this video clip idea. So, we just had to add some things and put it all together. So, what is the Revolting Puppets universe? Well, the Revolting Puppets universe does not have a fixed year or time. It's just sometime in the future. Because if you put a year in a story, it's always a bit difficult because sooner or later reality catches up, and we kind of wanted to leave that open. So in that future, corporations became more and more powerful, and in the end became more powerful than the government. And they're basically ruling the society. Governments are still there, but they just do whatever the corporations tell them to do. They don't really have power anymore. It's a bit like today, but worse. One of these corporations is M Corp, which people often refer to as the Empire, because they are so big and have so much power. So M Corp has many fields of work. Their slogan is a better future together. And one of their fields of work is security and surveillance. And another one is the manufacturing of neuroimplants. Now, neuroimplants are devices that are directly implanted in the skull that can interact with your brain and influence your brain waves. And they became so advanced over the years that the claim of the product was people would have happy thoughts only, thus creating a happy society with no more conflict. And of course, this seems like a good idea. But the question is that really a good idea if such a society is accomplished by implants in your brain that control your brainwaves and thoughts? So the main motivation for creating such a product was the circumstance that in this future, any form of debate became forbidden. And whatever could lead to such a debate was therefore illegal, whether it was books, music, articles, or any art form. And people who would still start debates or write something that could start a debate could be sent to the cloud. And the cloud is a place high above the city where these people could get healed. So the neuroimplants are basically the final solution for this problem. If you can't control yourself, these implants will do the job for you. So that is how the empire works. Now in this world, Revolting Puppets are an underground collective that tries to work against this development. They still provide people with illegal art or try to show them another side of the picture. And sometimes they would hack into people's screen at home and show them forbidden art, or they would hack into a billboard in town and show their own messages to people. And so that basically is the Revolting Puppets world. So we had a world, and now we needed stories to take place in this world. And one of these stories was a song called Escape from Home. And for that song we made a video clip in 2019. And this was our first studio production and first professional made video clip. So I want to show it to you. Here it is, Escape from Home.
City up behind me. Don't know where to go. I've been running for hours. I am far away from home. So they tell me I'm a bad seed, and they'll send me back to club. But I cut my head open and took all the wires out. Still remember the faces and the hatred in their eyes. Feel the road to see me dead and gone. They're refusing all the lies. I had to go when I had to run away. I had to go, I couldn't stay. I had to go when I had to run away. No more wires in my brain. And now I'm running, now I'm on my way. Run away, run away. And now I'm running, now I'm on my way. Far away from my home. Starting to fall down, and it blends in my tears. I am walking through the shadows, underneath the golden leaves. But I feel so alive right now. No more pressure in my heart, even though I'm going underground. And the life is gonna start. I had to go and I had to run away. I had to go, I couldn't stay. I had to go and I had to run away. No more wires in my brain, yeah. And now I'm running, now I'm on my way. Run away, run away. And now I'm running, now I'm on my way. Far away, far away. I don't know who I am, don't know where to go. All I know is that I wanna be a part of the show. Such a hideous play and travesty. Everyone a prisoner, claiming to be free. Teaching 0 for a 1, teaching black for white. Behind a wall of fire, you don't put up a fight. And if you dare to see, if you can play dumb, and cooperation is gonna turn you numb. So I had to go and I had to run away. I had to go, I couldn't stay. I had to go and I had to run away. No more wires in my brain, yeah. And now I'm running, now I'm on my way. Far away, far away. And now I'm running, now I'm on my way. Far away from my home.
So that was Escape from Home. And a second story is a comic called Private School. And it's a short story containing 20 pages. It's about a female protagonist who does not yet have an implant in her head. Most of her classmates do. And she goes to a private school, which is sponsored by M-Corp. And one day, by accident, she realizes a terrible secret about her school. And I won't tell you more, because of course that would spoil the story for you. It was drawn last year. It has not yet been published, because I'm still looking for a publisher. But I really hope that I can get it out soon, and you all can read it. I'm just gonna show you a couple of images, and here's one of the first pages, or some part of the first page. And there you can see like her desk that is like a big giant touchscreen with a lot of commercials on it. Since it's a private school, they have to get financed somehow. And it's like shows how these schools in the future or in that universe work. And here are some images of the later part of the story. Again, I will not reveal too much about it. So these are 2 more stories out of this universe. Of course, most of our songs that we wrote over years take place in that universe and our stories out it. So, what's next for the future? Well, we recorded an album, and we are still looking for a label, actually, to publish it. And also, I'm looking for a publisher for the comic private school, of course. We keep on playing concerts, of course. We'd like to go on tour. Still looking for venues to play, of course. So this is just the stuff in the near future. We have some further ideas where this project could go. One idea is to create a bigger comic story that is longer than just 20 pages. I already have an idea, but it's still pretty rough. Then we were thinking about doing a animated video clip. We already have a storyboard from that old video clip that we never actually released, but which was like the key to create this universe and everything. So we still have the storyboard. We might be able to adapt it to one of our new songs, but we still have to see. We might have to find people to do it, and animation can get pretty expensive, so no idea if this is ever gonna be realized, but I sure hope so. And another idea was to turn Revolting Puppets into a real-life online LARP, a live-action roleplay. I'm not really sure if this is a good idea or not. It's just an idea. But I thought it would be fun if people could become characters in that universe as well, and then we could interact with each other, but haven't fully thought it through. So, who knows? And of course, a big wish, but it's just a wish, is Revolting Puppets video game sometime in the future, but that is really just more wishful thinking than an actual idea. So anyway, that was it. That was my short presentation about Revolting Puppets. If you have questions, or if you just want to talk, or if you want to collaborate with us, you can contact us. Write us an email at band@revoltingpuppets.com, or visit our website www.revoltingpuppets.com. If you have, or if you know somebody who has a label, or if you are a publisher or know somebody, or if you have a venue to play, please contact us, of course. And feel free to just write us an email about whatever you want. If you want to fight the Empire together, just want to chat, you can write us. So thanks so much for watching my presentation. And I really hope to hear from you guys. And see you around.